Hey, what's up, World Surf League? My name is Nolan Ribeiro. I'm from a town called Jundiaí, located in the state of São Paulo, Brazil. Now, I currently live in Los Angeles, California, working as a freelance producer and editor. The coolest place I've ever been? It's probably a city named Bonito in the state of Mato Grosso do Sul in Brazil. It's beautiful there, beautiful environment, beautiful wildlife, lots to do. It's crazy. One of the coolest things that you can do is that you get a wetsuit, you get a floating vest, and some goggles, and you just you go snorkeling down the river, which is amazing. And you kind of go free diving, but not really. You just go snorkeling down the river, and you basically let your body go, and the current takes you. And as the current is taking you, you're just observing all this beautiful water life, all this vegetation, the fishes. It's fantastic. There's waterfalls, there's hot springs, and there's a lot of caves that you can go exploring, which is a lot of fun, super crazy. What will I eat before I die? Probably sushi. I can eat sushi anytime, any day. And maybe have like some acai for dessert. Woo, best. This is such a hard question. I think I would still go with Gladiator from Ridley Scott. Yeah, Gladiator. Let's keep with Gladiator. There's so many movies, but Gladiator. Margot Robbie, beautiful, and I love her Australian accent too. So Margot, if you're watching this, how you doing? I used to watch this documentary about Hawaii from Discovery Channel called Extreme Hawaii. So I really want to go explore the land. Explore the land. And the water, yeah. All the activities, exploring everything is probably going to be my favorite part. Being able to do all those things that I fantasize about. That's my favorite, like surfing Hawaii, cliff jumping, jet skiing. Those are insane. For me, I'm super stoked. It's gonna be awesome. I remember that there's this one time I went camping across California. I was dating this girl a couple of years ago, and we were like, oh, let's take the Highway 1 and just go camping and seeing all these different places. And we did it. It was really fun. It was a lot of crazy stuff. We got to this campsite in Big Sur, and we really want to stick around, but it was fully packed, and we've been driving for hours, so we're like super tired, and we're like, oh my gosh, we're so tired, we can't keep going because it's getting dark, and we didn't have money to stay in a hotel, and we're like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? We really want to stick around, but the guy, it was like a independent, it wasn't like a state park or anything like that, it was just like an independent campsite. And we got there, and the guy was like, we're begging him, we're like, oh my gosh, can we please have one spot that we can put our tent in? We're just for this night, we're moving up tomorrow. And the guy couldn't let us, he wouldn't let us, and he was like, no, I'm so sorry, it's fully booked, And we're freaking out, we're like, oh. And I was from Brazil, she was from France, so we're both kind of new here in the States. So a lot of people told us like, oh, you can't camp anywhere, it's kind of dangerous, especially if you're on the road, blah blah blah. And we're like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? And then as we're coming out of the campsite, we see this couple, and they start talking to us, and then we really hit it off, and we're talking about like a bunch of different, like they used to live in Santa Cruz, and we were chit-chatting, and then we had like a bunch of wood because we wanted to make a fire. We're like, I was carrying this wood. I'm like, oh, we have all this wood. We're hoping to do this and this and that. And they kind of sympathize with us, and they're like, oh, our campsite is really big, so if you guys want to put an extra tent there, it's fine. And we're like, oh my gosh, really? I can't believe it. And in the end of the day, we camped in there with those cats, and we spent the entire time, like we went to watch the sunset together, and there was this beautiful beach, and then we came back, we made some fire, and they hung with us, and we made some food, and we gave them some food, and we ended up having like a really nice night. In the end, it was amazing, and we made some new friends. We got a place to stay the night, and moved up, kept traveling the next morning. So it was great. There's this one time I was in Canada, and I was snowboarding with a few friends, and it was like a lot of fun. We were going crazy, and then we want to spice it up a little bit, so we go off track. We take our alternative trail. So we started snowboarding. It was cool. There's like a lot of these new bumps and this new like ramps, and we're jumping and doing whatever, having fun with it. And but it was my first time in there. But my friends, they were from there, so they already knew like places to go. I kind of go parallel with them, and without looking, I kind of go on this bump and I jump. But then I realized that everybody turned right, and when I look down, and this is one of those moments that adrenaline kicks in and everything kind of goes slow motion. And as I'm looking down, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to this white like flat surface kind of thing, and everybody's turning, and I just fall into this pool of snow. And it's like I dig in, I just dig into the snow, and there's snow up till my waist, and I'm like, oh no. And my friends all kept going because some of them didn't even notice that I was jumping. I was a little bit far ahead. A buddy of mine noticed me. He saw me jumping. He told me later. So when he went down, he went up again and came to be with me. And I'm in this pool of snow, and I'm freaking out because I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? No. And I keep trying to come out, and as I try to dig in, and I'm stuck with my board, and and like I can't really, like I'm moving but like feel like I'm sinking. And at one point, like I take off my board and I pull it up, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And that took me a little bit of time, and I'm trying to come up, and I couldn't, because every time I'm trying to come up, I keep sinking in the snow. And I'm starting freaking out because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm in the middle of nowhere. Why the hell did I get out of the trail? Nobody's gonna pass through here. They're never gonna see me trying to come up. But my friend came back because he saw me, so but to the moment that he went all the way down and came back and go back and try to meet with me, it's been like a good like 30 minutes or so, or a little bit more. When he came, I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, I can't get out of here. What are we gonna do? So I had the idea of like, I take off my board and I use it to just like carve into the snow, and I just pull myself up a little bit and carve it again and pull myself up a little bit. And it took me about like 2 hours to go uphill to where he was, so we can ride down and go to the lift again. And by the time I got out, it was kind of late already, so I don't think there was much riding after that. I think it was just the ride down to go home. And I was just so happy that I managed to get out of that situation. Breathtaking, peace, adventure, surreal, love. That's how I describe Hawaii. You should hire me because we're gonna create some magic for you guys up. Honestly, my passion knows no bounds. I'm super stoked. I can't even put into words what this opportunity means to me. How passionate I am about surfing, about Hawaii, the whole thing, all of it is just too crazy, too insane. Honestly, every second counts, and we're gonna make the most out of it. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video, and I hope to see you soon in Hawaii. Take it easy, fam. Peace!